Welcome into the BSN Avalanche Weekly Breakdown series presented by Bender's Bar and Grill.
This is Jim Armstrong, former sports columnist at the Denver Post. These days, I own Bender's up in Westminster in the Westminster Promenade Ice Center. If you don't think we're the preeminent hockey bar in the metro area, you haven't seen the framed Original Six jerseys above the bar. We have poutine on the menu. That must make us a hockey bar. All kinds of good stuff on the menu. Come on up to Bender's and check us out.
I'm Allie Monroy, and alongside me is BSN Avalanche beat writer Adrian Dater. Dater, the Avs have gotten off to a hot start in the regular season, beating the Minnesota Wild 4-1 on Thursday, and then the Philadelphia Flyers 5-2 on Saturday. What were a few things you saw in that game?
Well, Allie, I think one of the first things I noticed was they're getting secondary scoring. You know, we harped on that all preseason. Who's going to be the guys who score goals after the top line? Can they get scoring from them? Or are they going to be just a one-line team? Well, not the first two games they weren't. The game against Philly the other night, Colin Wilson, 2 goals. The guy who scored, I think, 6 the whole of last year. Alexander Kerfoot with some points. JT Compher with a goal. Secondary scoring was there. Carl Soderberg. That was one of the things I noticed the most, and that just makes them such a dangerous team when they get that. Sam Girard, the young defenseman, 20 years old. Kid's not even old enough to drink legally yet, but he's the man right now for the Avalanche, I think, defensively. I was stunned by how good he was the other night. He makes so many little intricate plays, so many intricate passes out of the zone, or now it's even in the offensive zone. He's setting guys up for goals. He set up JT Compher for a great one-timer the other night, just a slick little crossing pass. But he's so calm with the puck. He gets the puck in his own zone. He makes a nice little curl or elusive move, and off he goes. And wow, is that valuable. I asked Eric Johnson in the locker room the other night about him. He's his defensive partner. He said, I said, how are you loving life playing with him? He goes, I hope I play with him the last 5 years of my contract. So Eric Johnson's loving life. The other aspects of the team, it's just a lack of being self-satisfied right now, which I like. Teams of the past, it seemed when they won a game or two, get a little self-satisfied. They call it a huge win. I never want to hear it be called a huge win in the regular season, unless it's the last game of the year or something. They're not doing that. They're talking about being better, and we need to do this better, that better. And yet they're still winning games pretty easy. To me, that's a very good sign of a team that really knows it can win, not just wants to win.
Well, before the season started, there was conversation regarding who the starting goalie would be for this team. Semyon Varlamov has started these last 2 games and had a combined total of 55 saves in those games. What's going on with that situation?
Yeah, well, Varley's just keeping his spot. He went into the season the number 1 guy, but there's a guy on his heels that if he doesn't play very well could take that job pretty easily, Philip Grubauer. So Varley gave up that quick goal against Minnesota in the first game, and you thought, well, oh boy, here we go. But after that, he was rock solid, didn't let anything in. He's been especially good in third periods where they're holding the lead. So he's done everything he should do right now. Philip Grubauer will start Tuesday in Columbus. I think the rotation will be one of every 3 or 4 games for Grubauer. But yeah, Varley was excellent the first 2 games. Jared Bednar has to be thrilled with that, and now he gets some rest, and we'll see how Grubauer does.
Well, the Avs start their first road trip of the season. They play the Columbus Blue Jackets on Tuesday night, and then they travel to Buffalo to face off against the Sabres on Thursday. Dater, what are a few things you'll be watching for in those matchups?
Well, Columbus is going to be a tough place to play. They're a team that plays well at home. They've got a coach, John Tortorella, who's, just a grinder of a coach, a stickler for block shots and defensive zone coverage and things like that. The Avs will get a break when they play the Jackets. They won't have Seth Jones, the top-rated defenseman. He's still out with an injury. They've got a great scorer in Artemi Panarin. This could be his last year in Columbus, but we'll see. He doesn't really want to be there, but he's got 1 year left on his contract. Just a tough team, tough to skate against, but hopefully the Avs can get an early goal. That's key for them on the road. Get into that second period where they're kind of even or ahead, and usually good things happen from there. Buffalo Sabres, worst team in the league last year. So they get the Rasmus Dahlin, the #1 pick from Sweden, great offensive defenseman, sort of another Erik Karlsson he's built out to be. Jack Eichel, top young scorer, second pick in the league behind Connor McDavid that 1 year. So he's healthy again and ready to go. Beyond that, the Sabres don't have a lot still. Avs should be favored to win that game, but can't take anybody lightly on the road. I expect 2 tough games, but if the Avs don't get at least 1 win, I'll be very surprised the way they're playing.
Well, Adrian will be in Buffalo and in Columbus, so be sure to catch all of our game coverage on bsndenver.com. For Adrian Dater, I'm Allie Monroy, BSN Denver.